Welcome to my Real Estate Dojo with Mr. Investor. Gang, today I'm going to be talking about 42 ways to find motivated sellers totally for free or almost for free. Alright, we have a lot to cover. We'll just go ahead and dive in and get rocking. The number one way to find motivated sellers for free is basically get on Facebook and find what I call Facebook leaders. These individuals have 1,000 followers, 2,000 followers, 10,000 followers. And what you're going to do is you're going to contact these Facebook leaders and ask them to promote your company in the messages that they post on Facebook. And in return, maybe you'll give them $10, $20, $50 a month or whatever it is, or in exchange you'll do something to scratch their back for them to promote your company. This is a very effective way to get targeted eyeballs to come to your company or to your website to generate leads for very, very small amount of money. The next thing you could do is what I call the human billboard. In a nutshell, you go to a sign company, or you can make it yourself. You can get a big old sign, where in the front of it in the back that says "We buy houses, any condition," your phone number, and you're going to stand on the corners of a busy intersection and walk around and pace back and forth during rush hour time. This is very, very effective. It costs a very, very small amount of money, and you can get a good return on your investment. Another thing you could do that's for free or almost for free is basically contact blog leaders. And what do I mean by blog leaders? There's a lot of bloggers out there in the home improvement and insurance and cars, whatever, fitness. And you're going to contact these people that have a lot of followings, okay? 1,000, 5,000, 20,000. Believe it or not, there's bloggers out there with 100,000 viewers or followers. And you're going to ask them to do the same thing you did with the Facebook leaders. Say, every time you post a blog, please on the bottom include my company or my company's web address or a signature. And in return, I'm going to do X for you. I'm going to give you $50 a month, or I'm going to scratch your back. Use your mind. Be creative, because it doesn't have to always be about exchanging money. You can just scratch their back, they're going to scratch your back. And your job is to come up with a creative way to scratch somebody's back, okay? If you don't have $50 to give that blog leader. Another thing you can do is the same thing as the blog leader or Facebook leader, is to do Twitter leaders. There's a lot of people out there, bands, DJs, or gurus or things of that nature, that have thousands and thousands of followers. And you're going to go on Twitter, find these people and solicit to them, say, hey, every time you post a tweet, make sure you include my company's signature, what I do, and in return I will scratch your back. That has worked out greatly for me, and I know it's going to work out greatly for you. Okay? Another thing you could do is called Fit for Dollars. Yep, you heard it right. It's called Fit for Dollars. And what does that mean? Well, it means you get up in the mornings, maybe with your wife, maybe with your kids, maybe with your pet, and you're going to go for a walk, you're going to go for a jog, or you're going to go rollerblading or ride a bicycle, and get fit while you're looking for distressed houses in your neighborhood. So what you're going to do is in the morning, you're going to get up, put on your jogging shoes, go out there and start running and looking for abandoned or distressed houses that have tall grasses, houses that have that haven't got any love, houses that have a lot of flyers in front of their doors, which all symbolizes of distressed properties, okay? And then what you're going to do is you're going to contact those people by knocking on their doors and let them know what you do, which is, hey, I'm an investor, I buy houses, what's your situation, etc., okay? This is a very effective way to make money and get fit. That's why I coined the name Fit for Dollars. Now listen up, this is a very good way to find free motivated sellers. You get on YouTube, all right, and you're going to do keywords as "we buy houses in a city." For example, I live in the Dallas-Fort Worth area, so I've made about 30 videos, and it basically says "we buy houses in Dallas, we buy houses in Irving, we buy houses in Frisco, we buy houses in Fort Worth," and upload those on YouTube and make sure you tag them right and you use the right titles. Like I said, "we buy houses in Fort Worth." Believe it or not, there's a lot of people searching on YouTube. YouTube is the number 2 search engine in the world, and so you are going to be able to generate some leads from that. And what you do is on the YouTube description, you're going to put your web address on there, so when somebody watches that video, they can click on the bottom of that YouTube and go to your website or your landing page or your squeeze page, and the buyer, the visitor, is going to fill out the form, which means you're going to get a lead or you're going to receive a phone call. This is a very effective way to advertise. It costs $0 besides your time, or what I call sweat equity. Another great way to advertise, and this is what I've created myself, is very, very, very creative, is that if you live in a large city like Houston, like Dallas, like Austin, or large metroplex, there's a lot of homeless people out there, or people that peddle for coins or dollars. And what you could do is you could make t-shirts like this that says, hey, we buy houses, any condition, or phone number, and you could go out and give these t-shirts to the homeless people or people that are peddling for money. And in return, the homeless people are going to get something in benefit, a t-shirt, because they're homeless, they don't have any money. And in return, what you're going to get is, while these homeless people are outside at the busiest intersections, walking around asking for money, they're constantly wearing your shirt and advertising on your behalf. This is what I call a win-win-win. You win as the investor, the homeless person wins because they get a free shirt, and the person driving by wins by calling you. Okay? Very creative way to advertise. It costs a very small amount of money. Okay? Now, another way to advertise for free to find motivated sellers is through online classifieds. Okay? Now, there's two ways to do this. Number one is what I call passive. You make ads on Craigslist and you post them on there. All right? And you wait for the visitors to call you. That's why it's called passive. The next way, which is I like even better, is that it's called proactive. What you do is you get on the rental section or you get on the for sale section and you search for people that are trying to sell their home, and you solicit them via email or via text or by even cold calling. You just give them a call and say, hey Bob, I see you have a house listed on blah 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 street, can you tell me a little about it? And then you go right into the seller script, phone script that I've already provided to you. If you don't have it, just contact me and I will give it to you. And you start asking them those questions like, why do you want to sell your home, etc. Okay? So let me tell you a couple of things about the passive way on online classifieds. Instead of just making a generic ad that says we buy houses, focus, use the rifle effect to market, not the shotgun. Okay, what do I mean by that? The shotgun sprays white out. So if you say we buy houses, that's like the shotgun effect. You're trying to get everybody. But I'll go ahead and use this rifle approach that targets specific type of buyers. For example, on my Craigslist ads, I have a variety of different ads. Some target people that have lost their jobs. That says, hey, have you lost your job? Some ads target people that are relocating, saying, hey, have you got a job relocation? Some of my ads target people that are going through divorces. The ad says, are you going through a divorce? We buy houses. You know, so what I'm trying to tell you is, don't use the shotgun approach. Use the rifle approach, because if you could focus your ad to a specific type of audience, you're going to get a better results. If it's divorces, if it's loss of jobs, if they're behind on payments. So you make your ads according to one type of sector of audience, not to everybody, okay? You can definitely do the shotgun too, but if you want a more effective way to advertise, you got to keep your audience in mind whenever you make these ads, okay? So that means if you're going to do the passive one, you're not just going to have one ad that says we buy houses. You may have 10, 20 different ads for different types of audiences, like behind in payments, going to foreclosure, getting a divorce, inherit a home, etc. All right. Another way that's very effective, I do it all the time, and it costs a very low amount of money, almost free, what I call it, is basically these t-shirts. Okay, I wear these t-shirts when I go to the gym. I wear these t-shirts when I'm driving around. I wear these t-shirts when I go to Starbucks, to grocery shopping, wherever I go. I wear my t-shirt that says, hey, I buy houses, blah, blah, blah. Here's my phone number. Believe it or not, people come up to me. We start conversating regarding houses they may have, or contractors will come up to me and offer their services to me, what have you. Either way, it's a win-win, and you should definitely do it because it costs a small amount of money for a big return. Another almost free way to advertise is basically business cards, something like this. All right, what do you do with these? You carry them with you every day and you pass them out. When you get gas, you put it at the gas station. Whenever you go to a restaurant, you put a couple of cards in there. When you go to the gym, you put them out. When you go to the coffee shop, you put them out. When you go grocery shopping, you leave some in the cart, some at the cash register, etc. Use your creative mind. I know you can do it. You're going to put these out everywhere you go. You should be putting out 25 to 50 of these a day, and it costs a small amount of money, but it's a good return on your investment. All right, another thing that you can do that's free is basically called SEO, search engine optimization. And in a nutshell, you need to spend time to learn how to do that, and it's going to take some time, but it's a very effective way to generate revenue, okay? To do a crash course on SEO, you need to make sure you have good sitemaps for your SEO, and you go to Google, Bing, and you submit your sitemap to those. You got to make sure you have good titles, good keywords, and good descriptions for your website. Now, SEO has gotten a lot harder in the past few years compared to 5 years ago or 10 years ago, but it's a very still effective way to generate business for virtually for free, just through your sweat equity, okay? Some other things you could do to increase your SEO is basically submit your website to free directories. You can submit your websites to build links with other businesses in your own industry or close industry. For example, if you buy houses, you might want to exchange links with real estate agents. You might want to exchange links with insurance companies. You might want to exchange links with contract workers, with things of that nature, small shops. And in return, you put their link on your website and they put your link on their website. And that helps out with the search engine optimization. But at the same time, you might get some actual visitors that come to your site from the other people's advertisement they're doing for their website, okay? Here's another creative way to advertise that I do is basically Google Images. Now, if you have images of your company, if you have images of your business card, if you have images of your signs, whatever, you could upload those to Google and save them as keywords. So for example, I upload my business card, instead of just saying Mike on it, I say We Buy Houses Dallas. Or I upload our X and we save it as a keyword. Or we upload Y and we save it as keywords. And what that does is that when somebody does a search, for example, We Buy Houses in Dallas, Google spits out sponsor links, which basically is per click, are the first 2 or 3 results, then the organic search results, and then Google Images is on there, and then YouTube videos are on there. So images are a very effective way to come up on this organic search results, because not many people are thinking about creatively how to come up on Google through Google Images. So in a nutshell, create images, save them as keywords, like We Buy Houses or Sell Your House to Me, things of that nature, and upload them to Google through your website or other medias, okay? Make sure you save those images as keywords relating to your industry, which is We Buy Houses, things of that nature. Here's another good one that I like to do is find local DJs in your area. The DJs are very important because they're always promoting themselves. They're in front of hundreds of people. If it's a wedding, if it's a birthday party, whatever it is, and you could go to that DJ and scratch his or her back and say, look, man, I'll give you $50 or I'll do X for you, whatever it may be. And in return, wear my t-shirt whenever you're DJing, or give them a sign where they can have it in front of their booth when they're DJing. And everybody's going to be looking at the DJ during the party, and they're going to see that at the bottom that says We Buy Houses, or they're going to see the DJ shirt. Or even the DJ could even announce you once in a while in the party. Says, hey, if you ever need to sell your house, call Mr. Investor, blah, blah, blah. Okay? Very smart way, creative way to advertise for free. Another thing you could do is go door knocking on expired MLSs, okay? So you need to partner with a realtor, have them pull out the expired MLSs, and you're gonna drive around and knock on those doors and let them know what you do and how you can help that seller sell their home with a cash offer or creative financing, okay? Because that specific seller tried to sell their home through the MLS, it didn't work, Now they still need to sell, but they don't know what to do, and that's where you come in. Another good way to, for almost for free, find motivated sellers is through evictions. You pull on the county clerk's office, people that are doing evictions, or landlords that are doing evictions, and then you go knock on these landlords' houses by pulling the tax roll and let them know that, hey, you could help them with the eviction, or you could buy their home and alleviate the pain of them dealing with deadbeat renters, okay? Another great way to advertise for almost for free is, if not for free, is divorces. Same thing. You go to the county clerk's office, you pull that information up, you go knock on the doors of people getting divorced, and you let them know how you could buy their home and save their credit. And I'll do videos on how to find evictions and how to find divorces on the county clerk's office, so you guys know how to do that. I'm sure I already have some already online. You might want to go check it out. Another good idea is probate. All right? You do the same exact things with the eviction or the expired MLSs. Another good idea is taxes. People that are behind on their taxes. You do the same exact thing with the expired MLSs. You get the information, you go knock on doors, let them know what you do. All right? Another genius idea that I personally do is we got our car wrapped. Now, you don't have to spend the $1,800 like we did, but you can simply order car magnets and stick them on the side of your car, on the side of your wife's car, your kid's car, your friend's car, or even your car only. And every day that you're driving, now you're not wasting money or advertising. Believe it or not, you get deals just by having a magnet on your car that says, "We buy houses." This may cost only $50 to $100. You could order it online for a very small amount of money, almost free, and get a good return on your investment. Now, another thing you could do, which what I did when I first started and I got my first deal, is called bandit signs, okay? You know, you've seen the signs like this, all right? You put these out, people call you, you get deals. Two things about bandit signs. Number one, just don't do a generic, don't do the shotgun effect that says, "We buy houses." Too many people are doing that. Make bandit signs that are specific to your audience, just like the Craigslist ads. Talk about like what I've done. Behind on payments. I'm only targeting people that are behind on payments. Or I'm only targeting people that says job re-lost. Or I'm only going to target people that says going through a divorce. That way when somebody's driving around, if they see "We buy houses" and they're going to a divorce, they might not be able to connect those dots. But if you say on your sign, "Divorce, I'll buy your house," that person that's going through divorce is going to connect the dots a lot easier, and they're going to call you compared to somebody that says "We buy houses," okay? The number two thing about bandit signs is that they're called bandit signs. They're illegal in many counties, okay? So you may get a ticket by putting these signs out. I've been doing it for 7 years, and I've only gotten one ticket that cost me roughly about $1,500. But from all the deals that I got, it was worth it to me, you know. So that ticket was just cost of doing business, just like the gas in my car. I'm not telling you you should do this or not, but here's some ways. The bandit signs is one of the ways where I call almost free to find motivated sellers. It's very effective. Another thing you could do is drive for dollars. And what that means is you get in your car, you pick the areas you want to buy houses in, and you drive by every house. And if you see a for sale sign, or if you see house for rent, you give that seller a call, or you get out of your car and knock on their door and solicit to them and let them know what you could do and how you could help them out by buying their home. Very effective way, almost for free. All you have to pay for is a little of your time and gas to find deals. Now, here's another really good way to advertise that what I call almost for free. It's called co-op marketing. What I mean by that is that you join forces with 2, 3, 4 other companies. For example, if you buy houses, you may want to join with a moving company, or join with a real estate company, or a contract worker, or an insurance agent. And basically you make a flyer where you guys split the cost of the flyer, where it has 2 sections. For example, on mine, I split the cost with a moving company. So the front that says "We buy houses," the back is the moving company, okay? So when we do the mail outs, we're saving money, but at the same time we're able to get more area because there's 2 people advertising. Or if you can make door hangers and put them on doors where there's 3 ads on there. One for you, one for the other 2 companies, the construction company, the real estate agent, and you're combining your money to be able to get a bigger area for a fraction of the cost. Very, very effective. So again, that's called co-op marketing. This is what I call the win-win-win. Another thing you could do, which I'm sure you already know of, is called networking yourself. What I mean by that is make sure you network with your friends, your family, let everybody that you know that you buy houses and how you buy houses through creative financing or all cash. So you can do that through just talking to them, or you can do that through Facebook, okay? Now, when I say Facebook, I'm not talking about finding Facebook leaders. That's 2 different things. The networking that you're going to be doing is creating your own Facebook and letting your family and friends know what you do. Finding Facebook leaders is a totally different thing than this Facebook idea. Another great way to find visitors or leads or motivated sellers is to do press releases. Okay, when you do a press release in your area, you have a good chance of the local media picking it up, but more importantly, you have a good chance for Google Spider to spider your press release, and you have a link in there to your website, which helps you with the search engine optimization, which can bring you up in the organic search results, which means in the end you're going to generate more leads through phone calls or lead submission through your Contact Us or free estimate webpage. All right, here's some other stuff you could definitely do, and these are totally for free. You could do Google Plus. I do that. Google Plus has a very easier way of coming up on the Google search results than SEO, okay? Just Google Google Plus, and you know what I'm talking about once you do that. Just create yourself a page, upload images, talk about what you do, and before you know it, your Google Plus is going to be ranking very high, and you're going to be able to generate leads for your company. Another great way to advertise totally for free is called Google Local, okay? You basically go to Google, you submit your address. It doesn't have to be an office. You can use your family. For example, if you have one house in, let's say, in one city, and you have a brother that lives in another city, and you have a cousin that lives in another city, will submit all their information. Call your cousin and say, hey, Google's going to send me a postcard. When that postcard comes, please call me and give me that code. Once you get that code, you go back to Google Local, submit your information, that code to Google, and Google's going to add you to their Google Local in that specific area. So when somebody does, for example, we buy houses Dallas, your local Google page will come up, okay? Very effective way to advertise totally for free. All right, another thing you could do is, which is totally for free, is basically get on the internet and answer questions like Google Answers, or get on blogs and answer questions that people have asked, like on the comments, or get on forums, like for example, real estate forums, car forums, whatever forums that you have expertise in and or have interest in. Get on there and start talking to other people on that forum, okay? And by doing that, if you create a signature, every time you post a comment, your signature is going to be displayed, which is going to go back to your website, which is going to help you with search engine optimization, but more importantly, you might get some live visitors going back to your website that need your services, and they'll call you or submit a lead. Another good way to generate leads is to hold sweepstakes, where you say, hey, for every 10 things, I'm going to give you a free lottery ticket, or for every 10 things, I'm going to buy you dinner for 2. So you basically put that on your website, or you put that on YouTube, or you put that on your Facebook, which you let people know that if they do some kind of action, they'll be entered into a sweepstake where you're going to pick a winner and reward those people. That way, there's more incentive for somebody to jump through the hoops, per se, and more chance for you to be able to get leads. Another thing that you could do that's very, you're able to adjust how much you want to spend almost for free is Google AdWords or pay-per-click, okay? You could Google that. There's a lot of people talking about that. You can spend anywhere from $25 a month all the way to thousands of dollars a month, okay? So for a very small amount of money, you can be able to come up on Google's first page for specific keywords that you're targeting for a specific area. Very effective. You're in total control of the cost. All right. Another thing you could do is cold calling. I know a lot of people don't like to do that, and they're very scared of it, but that's where the cream of the crop goes, okay? There's not a line in cold calling. Who can you cold call? You can cold call FSBOs, you can get the newspaper, and what you're gonna do is you're gonna call people on the newspaper and solicit your information. You're gonna ask the Mr. Investor phone script question, and if they're motivated, you're gonna know immediately. If they're not, you're gonna know that as well, okay? Now, when I say cold calling, you could do that with even online classifieds, okay? Now, I really like the rental section whenever I do cold calling because the odds of hitting the home run is a lot higher. Here's 3 reasons why I like cold calling rental section. When you call rental sections, 3 things will happen. You call, and the first thing that can happen is there's a professional landlord like myself. They're gonna tell you, hey, go fuck yourself. I don't need your services. No problem. The next thing that could happen is you call and they're an accidental landlord. What that means is that they didn't want to be a landlord, but they're forced into it because the house has no equity, and so they don't know what the hell is going on. They never read a book. They never went to a seminar. So you have a good chance of closing a deal with that individual, accidental landlords. The third thing that could happen whenever you call a rental is that they're a professional landlord, but the lady or the gentleman are in an older stage of their life. They're ready to retire, or they're tired of being a landlord, and you get multiple deals in one phone call. So the odds are 2 to 1. You have 2 chances of scoring a home run if it's an accidental landlord or if it's just a tired landlord, okay? That's why I like the rental section. Now, one thing you could do, which I highly recommend, which is the next thing to find motivated sellers for free, is get on Craigslist, get on Backpages, go on the rental section and type in sell. These people are saying, hey, I want to sell my house, but I want to rent my house. Basically, I'm motivated. I don't know what I need to do, but I'm willing to do anything. And you call them and then you ask them the Mr. Investor seller questionnaire form. The other thing you could do is get on Backpages, get on Craigslist, and go on the rental section and then search the word sell. Okay? So you're going to do that for the sell section and the rental section. In the sell section, you're going to type in rent. On the rent section, you're going to type in sell. And what you're trying to do is find people that are motivated, that they're willing to rent or they're willing to sell. And they're going to identify themselves by saying house for sale and rent. And you're going to have a higher probability of closing a deal like that because these sellers are very motivated. They don't know what they want to do. They're willing to do either or. For example, somebody that just wants to sell their home, they might not be motivated because they're just waiting around just to sell. Where somebody's willing to rent it and sell it because they don't have the money to keep paying for that monthly mortgage. See, they're very motivated, okay? Because maybe the house is vacant or maybe whatever the situation is, but they're willing to sell it or rent it. So that's your best bet. All right, another thing you could do is door knocking. All right, you could drive around for dollars, door knock. You could get on the expired MLSs, the divorce court, the evictions, and just door knock. Now, door knocking is a very hard thing for many people because they don't want to get rejected, but that's where the champs go. That's, if you're a champ, you're going to be door knocking because there's not a line at the door for door knocking. It's just like the gym. There's never a line at the Stairmaster. There's always a line for the treadmill, okay? Now, if you want to be successful in this business, if you want to learn how to sell, if you want to learn how to negotiate, if you want to learn how to think on your feet, then I highly recommend door knocking. More importantly, the faster you're able to fail or the faster you're able to take rejection, the better chance you're going to have a success by door knocking. So I highly recommend door knocking. Another thing you could do is get online, type in FSBOs. These are sellers that try to sell their home by themselves, and send them emails, send them texts, or even door knock to them and let them know that, hey, I buy houses and I can solve your problem. This idea is, again, totally for free. Doesn't cost that much money. All right, another way to find for free motivated sellers is to go to nursing homes or go to retirement homes and just buy $10, $20 of fruit basket or some kind of cake and take it over there during the social time or during the exercise time and start talking to the old people. Bring them some food, bring them some bananas, and build relationships, because a lot of those people in the retirement home or nursing homes, they may have houses that are free and clear and they're wanting to sell, and you're right there building a relationship with them and they're willing to sell it to you for a very good price, especially since you're bringing something free for them. All right. Another thing you can do totally for free is basically cold call or drive around to title companies or escrow companies and ask them if there's any deals that haven't closed and if you get that information. If a deal hasn't closed, for example, I'm a seller, I'm trying to sell my house, I'm so excited, last minute the deal goes through with the buyer, now I'm very disappointed, I'm very depressed, and if I get a phone call from an investor like you, that might be a good chance that I might go with the offer, because I'm hurting. I really thought my house was going to sell. So you go to title companies and you let them know that has there been any deals that didn't close, and if you could have that information. Now, not every title company is willing to release that, but some will. You let them know that, hey, if you get a deal from them, you're going to close the deal at their title company. That gives the title company some incentives to give you the deal or give you the leads. Another thing you could do is flyers. For example, you could take flyers like this, or you could do small flyers like postcards and go door to door on zip codes or subdivisions or areas you want to buy houses on and put these on the seller's doors. Very simple, okay? You can put them on the doors. You can put these at their mailboxes, not in their mailbox, but outside of their mailbox. You can put these flyers at shopping centers, you can put them at coffee shops, grocery stores, gas stations. You get the idea. All right, another thing you could do, which will cost very small amount of money, is to find radio shows that are locally owned. For example, in today's era of the internet, there's so many small radios. For example, radios that deal with Persian people, radios that deal with Indian people, radios that deal with Asian people, etc. And these radios per se are just a one-man show. They might have 1,000 viewers, they might have 10,000 viewers, they might have 500, whatever. And you go talk to these people, because there's just a one-man show, and say, hey, how can I scratch your bag while you scratch my bag? And or you can offer them $50 or $100 a month for them to put your banner or speak about your company to their subscribers or to their listeners. You know, I'm not talking about going to the radio shows like the big ones on the radio, but the internet radio shows, okay? There's a lot of small, young, old, cultural people that have radio shows regarding their churches or whatever, their interests, their hobbies, etc. And you find these small radio shows, and you solicit to the radio show owner and figure a way to scratch their back while they scratch your back. All right, gang. Now I've given you 42 ways to find motivated sellers totally for free or almost for free. Now you got to go out there and take massive action. Nothing's going to work. You can take all the education, you can read all the books, go to all the seminars, but the thing that makes deals happen is massive action. If you don't take any action, nothing's ever going to come to play. I don't care if you have a PhD, if you're a doctor, if you have a master's degree. If you don't take action, there is no result. The strongest force in the universe is action. So make sure you take action, and don't listen to the naysayers. Don't listen to people that tell you you can't do it. Don't listen to your friends and family that may not believe in your dream. If you have that dream, it was given to you. So go out there, hustle and bustle, and make it happen. This is Mike with Mr. Investor with My Real Estate Dojo, and I'll talk to you later.